I'm here at House 559 with a DJ and production duo, Wes Crafty, better known as Freight Train.
All good.
Nice to be here, mate.
Good, thank you,
Pleasure,
thank you.
pleasure.
So obviously you just played a guest mix.
Yeah.
But I want to go right back. I want to say the name Freight Train.
Right.
Where'd that come from?
Okay. We've got this story. We've said this story, innit?
We'll be saying this story for the rest of our lives, man. Excuse the fluey throat, but we're here, we're live. So yeah, basically, so we might as well start from the very beginning. So we met in uni. Okay. We was both studying entertainment and music. Going back to back in class. Like we weren't actually friends at first, but we both clocked that we was on a certain level with music. So like we do certain assignments, we get similar marks. I thought, okay, it's competition kind of thing. Got chatting eventually, and we was both living on uni campus at the time. So then we decided, right, let's get a flat together.
Where was this?
Greenwich.
Greenwich.
Yeah. Oh, you went as well?
No. I just shout them out, innit?
It's true. It's true.
Nice.
If it weren't for Greenwich Uni, we wouldn't be sitting here today doing this interview. So
True.
it is true. Shout out Greenwich Uni. Man like Nick, the music teacher, legend.
Man like Nick.
So we got a place together, and then we both were in music but not active. So like craft, you come from like a drumming and like hip hop
like
and
live
stuff.
kind of music. Like I told you, innit? My dad is a musician and just grew up around live music, playing drums, like he said, and that was my kind of thing. So probably a bit quite all round, weirdly like rock and blues when I was growing up.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So like for me, I started off always been around music in the family. Decided I wanted to play the saxophone, but I started on the clarinet.
Okay.
So I was doing that, and then I was in the orchestra in school, so like around classical kind of music. Went onto the keys for a little bit as well, so dabbled in music from early. Then as I got a bit older, I started looking into like rapping and grime and that kind of thing. So we both came from different paths, but we loved, like the passion for music was the same. So yeah, so like we'd like mess around on like Logic 9 at the time, I think.
It might have even been 8. They changed
No, it was Logic 8, because I remember we then got a cracked version of Logic 9.
Yeah.
So as you do.
No, you don't do.
It's true.
You don't do it now, but when you're a kid, that's what you do.
So yeah, so then we like just kind of putting bits and bobs together, nothing serious. And then I think it was around sort of like 2011 times.
Yeah.
2011, 12 times.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there where we started. Obviously Funky was massive.
Yeah. 11. It was 11 with the Beautiful People remix.
Right, so that 11, 12 when we started getting a bit more serious. So like Funky House was like the sound, you know, loving it, going out to raves, like making little funky beats on and stuff. And then I think one day we just thought, let's put a name on us as a duo. And I was going to work, I remember it like it was yesterday. I basically said to Craft, I'm going to work, when I get back, you need to have a name. It's that serious.
Yeah.
So I don't know what made you come up with, but day off, yeah, it was a day off.
Yeah, I was doing some night shift or something, and then I don't know what it was. I think I brainstormed like a lot of different words. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not even gonna think about what I was thinking of, but like just had loads of different words, and I knew it was like it had to have some kind of meaning.
Yeah.
And then when I thought of Freight Train, I thought of like, what does it mean? So what is freight? So it's like cargo. It's like carrying goods, whether heavy or valuable goods or whatever, like it. And then a train is constantly moving. So how can we relate that to the music? So obviously you've got a lot of goods, like you're making stuff and you're building an inventory, so to speak. But then a train, you're constantly moving, you're getting to your destination eventually, wherever you might stop and start and stop and start, but you'll get there eventually. So I've come to this, I said, right, what do you reckon on Freight Train? He was like, okay, like explained it, and then I think it was it.
Basically,
it was like,
you're happy with that?
Yeah, made a logo, that's it, and then from there, the rest is history, man.
So Freight Train would you say that's just like a house project, or is that all you guys do? Like, have you got other tunes out there as well, or are you doing any other things that you might dabble with a different name in, or do you know what I mean?
Not as of yet, and the reason for that is, like, we've always thought of doing that, but the way that our musical roots kind of gone, we see ourselves in, like, for example, you might have someone like a Rudimental, who, what genre would they do? You might say, oh, drum and bass, because you think of Feel the Love, Waiting All Night, they're big hits, but really, those guys were from garage to funky to house, like, they're kind of multi-genre, innit? And we've always liked that. We don't like to have limitations on what we do. And like, because the sound we've always made has always kind of, it's just house. It might be deep one day, it might be tech one day, it might be main room, it might be, you know, like a sort of dubby set, but it's always house and it doesn't go too far off what we call our sound. So we haven't done that. But that is something that we have thought about. And if we do sort of take the production route, maybe down a slightly different road, we might use a different alias. But yeah, as of yet, I think everything we've put out kind of fits with the sound we are making. So yeah.
Did the DJing thing come around with the production at the same time, or we need to be able to mix these tunes?
But the DJing thing come from, I remember, it was mad. Like, we'd always made, like, we made music and whatnot, and like we had loads of different like little projects and just not very serious. But I think it come to a bit where in our lives where we thought, you know what, we need to learn. I think this is like a part and parcel of the job, so to speak. And
it is nowadays.
Yeah,
sure.
and I mean,
it's good to be able to do everything.
Yeah,
like I'm sure you know yourself. You know, I've been looking around Max's studio, house 559 is bad. Like, there's musical instruments there, get gadgets here, cameras there, editing software there. So I think in this day and age where everything is so much,
you got to be ready for everything.
There,
And so like I think I don't actually know. I think it started buying a controller. Yeah. Buying like a relatively cheap controller, having a laptop that was not like spec'd out or nothing like that, just practicing, just learning. And I don't think I even learned house straight away. Like I think I was messing about with bits of R&B and.
Well, I think if you can mix R&B, house really is quite simple.
Yeah, and obviously where we're quite musical and stuff, like we can count bars and stuff. And it wasn't like too difficult, but I think that came part and parcel, but the production came first. Okay. Because we've been doing, I've been making music, not professionally, but just making music for years, man. Like, not even, like, I mentioned like the rock and blues thing, me just growing up as a kid, but like, when I hit like my teens, I was way into my hip hop, making hip hop beats, and just kind of evolved. You kind of find a kind of niche that you like and a genre that you like and you want to put in, you want to work into it. So yeah, the production came first, then the DJ.
So as a duo, I always like to ask this back-to-back people. How does it work? First of all, when you're playing, and just say you got a gig, you're there. 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 20 minutes. Yeah,
like today obviously we've done two tunes for 2 tunes, and I don't know, it depends. If you like, we've done raves where we've literally just gone 1 tune
when you're
back to back, and it's like, but like obviously when you're on a radio kind of show, it's nice to just get in the zone, have a couple tunes. Like it's nice because then you can kind of think like that. Right, so Wes has played two styles. I want to play something kind of similar that will go nice with what he's just played. So it really depends, man. I think raves it's more back to back. Energy's up there, and it's like you're just having mad fun. Like when we was doing years ago, man, when we were doing like Have a Word, raves, that was when we was going straight back to back. Not even like sometimes even like a minute of a tune. Like proper high energy, but. I don't know, man. I'm getting older now, innit? So you just start 2 for 2, like.
Yeah, I think it's a style of playing as well. Like, if I think about when we first started DJing, we're very much sort of excited by the drops. And, like you say, high energy, exactly. Like, and you know, a tune's like 6 minutes, and you might think, as soon as it's 3 minutes, I need to get rid of it. Whereas now, me personally, I appreciate the sort of like the journey a track takes you on, the vibe. So you might have a tune that has like different arrangements. So not every tune has a massive drop. And I think you can just get into it more, create more of a setting and a feel, and then enjoy the mix. So you don't have to mix out too quick. You can, have some fun on your way out, kind of thing. So.
And how about when you guys are in the studio?
Well, that is very open.
Yeah.
When we're in the studio, there's not like,
it's kind of like four hands.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, we're not, right, you take care of the drums, right, then I'm gonna leave you to do the bass, and when I come back then we'll have a tune finish. It's not like that. Like sometimes can't find the one person might not be able to find a decent sounding drum, and then like one of us will go, oh, why don't you take that out, add that, and then okay, yeah, that will go nice because I've got an idea for the bass, and then we might go, don't really like that, okay, we'll scrap it. Like very much it's not, we haven't got roles.
You're like a perfect.
It's like a free flow, man. Like, but it's we've kind of got to this point through years of producing.
Yeah, so how many years together now? As
what we in?
About 6 years now, mate. Yeah.
But probably about near on 7.
7 years.
7 years of like not even like serious production. Like
it's only like I was
dabbling.
I was saying to like Pearl, I was like, it's only really in the last 2 years that it's for us we've kind of stepped up a level where now labels are actually getting in contact. Oh, we heard your release on the chart. Have you got anything for us? This and that. And like our sort of production process now is much more refined. So before it was kind of like just not clutter, but so many ideas, and you'd end up leaving a lot of them in. Whereas now, when we're making a tune, we kind of know where it's going already. So it's like, we've got to do this, then take that out. Think about the break, put that in. We need a sound. It sounds like this. Like it's much more structured. So the work rate and the sort of output has gone up. So now we can finish tunes a lot quicker. Plus we've got 2 studios, like a main one, and then I've got like a small bedroom set up as well. But then we've got like mobile ones with a laptop, so all of our sounds, everything is like online, so we can access them. Everything updates, So
I've got guys recently because of Team Viewer.
But those are the kind of levels we're on where, because life is so busy, and obviously we do a lot of gigs and stuff and bits and bobs here and there. So it's like you really do need to utilize any free time you've got. So if we've got like a performance or something, and we have to get there at a certain time, we've got 4 hours to wait. In that 4 hours, you can start a loop.
Make a beat, innit?
And like a lot of times, tunes. I know obviously you're a machine man, so a tune can be done. A 60-mile loop, you get everything in there. Then all you got to do is arrange it, sprinkle some stuff on the top of it, mix it down, tune's done. But that's the kind of mentality you've got to have if you want to get tunes done and out there.
Right, so the first I heard of you guys was obviously Got to Have It, which is still doing the madness in raves.
Nah, we've got love for anyone that's playing it, bought it, still
bangs
it. Thank you.
Still bangs, honestly, still bangs.
Thank you.
So, tell me the whole story around that track first of all.
Yeah.
When was it made?
Yeah, that was 2014.
I think we made it in 2013 and then it came out. Okay. 2014, it was like near the end of 2013.
Yeah, like the crossover.
And that came out with the label.
That was on Orange Groove. Okay. Shout out Paul Cyril. Believed in that tune, like big ups.
And I know we were talking earlier, but now we're on camera. The buzz when it first came out, what was it saying?
So I remember when we made it, we was thinking of a label to put it on, and we were following a lot of releases from Orange Groove at the time. Like
A-Lister.
A-Lister, there's a DJ called A-Lister, and he was releasing a lot, and Paul Cyril as well, who's the label owner. And we was like, wow, these guys are sounding, it's like proper house music that they're releasing, and that sound is right up our street. So we just hollered at Cyril, sent him, them info at orangegroove.com or something like that. Like we found it on SoundCloud and we thought, right, let's just send it and let's just see. He got back and he's like, this tune, like it's taken me back to how the sound of the Chicago kind of house, and I was like, whoa, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to release it. So he was like, wow, this to us is like a major, like, and
that is your first release?
No, we'd had releases before, but like where we'd seen a lot of things happening with Orange Groove, it was like, at the time, the thing is, we'd had other releases which were major in their own right. So like, our first release was with Mark Radford on Audio Rehab. So that was a major. That was, for us, like, we sent to Radford and he was like, I love this, we're gonna get an EP, we're gonna release it. That was the major for us at the time. So then as we've like evolved and started to make different kind of sounding house, where we'd seen Orange Groove doing a lot in like Traxsource charts and Beatport charts, it was like, whoa, like, we're getting on, it's like another
part of the club kind of
thing. It's like another peg that we can say, oh, we've now got a release on Orange Groove. So it's like, like, we got it released, and then we was gonna get A-Lister to get a remix on it. Remember, he said it, but it didn't happen. Don't know why, it just didn't happen. So he said, look, I'm just gonna release it as a one-track EP. So we was like, all right, cool, man. So then we released it, and like before that, prior to that, we played it to people, and people were like, oh, this is good, it's good. We got it released, and then Cyril, like, he must have reposted it on his SoundCloud, and he had like a major following in it. You remember? And then we started seeing like the plays going up, and like people from like all over were like commenting. If you go on the SoundCloud, like it's got mad comments on the tuning, and we were like, fucking hell, man. Like,
we weren't. It's like we said earlier on. It wasn't like. It's sometimes the tunes you put the least amount of effort and thought into that do the most.
Like you know when it just kind of fell together.
It was organic.
I remember making it. I started making it, I recorded the vocal, chopped it up, like I said to you, re-sampled it in, just played it on the pads. Because the inspiration was Storm Queen. Look Right Through.
I had a lot of inspiration from that tune.
Because I remember seeing the video of MK putting the samples, going, talk to me. And it was like, whoa, like this is mad, let me try and recreate something like that. So then I did that, and obviously it wasn't nothing like MK's production or anything like that. It was just our own take on a house tune, and you just played. It's like it's like 3 notes. That's it. 3 notes on the bass line, but people just liked it, man. And it didn't actually like. We see it like doing stuff on SoundCloud, but then it takes a while for it to get to people's playlists and DJs playing it and stuff. And then it wasn't until 2015 people started. We've got like Instagram posts and people going off in raves, and we were just like,
it's one of them tunes,
because it does go off. Like,
hold me.
Have you been in the crowd when it's gone off?
We've never actually been out and had someone and heard it out.
If you're out there, make this happen, alright? Basically, I'm gonna be out with these, alright? Just as a DJ, make it happen for us, because it goes off. Like, seriously.
Do you know what, bro? Like we both always said, the way that obviously house is, like, it kind of never dies, and it tunes they never die. So do not be surprised if at some point in the next few years a major gets in touch or it has a second wind of life, and it's like, because it's like, for example, House Every Weekend, David Zoe, he made that a good 2 years before it actually.
Because I've done my research on that tune, because I was like, this tune's blown, like this is mad. And then I went on his SoundCloud, and I see when he put it out on the SoundCloud, and it was like 2 years before that even.
Do you know who I think first sampled that vocal? Tough Love did. On a tune. I can't remember what it was called now off the top of my head, but The Night Is Calling.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that sample there was first used on that.
Mad.
Yeah.
It's funny, innit? Same sample, different tune.
Is. I work hard 7 hours.
Yeah, it
is. So that's when I first heard that, and then the Zoe thing was, I think, like maybe 2 years later.
Yeah.
It was kind of Ill-Feel did one, and it was like another one that just blew up.
Yeah, but there was that sort of,
wasn't it? It was a Lee Walker. Need a freak
like me. Yeah. But there's a lot. I mean, that sort of commercial period is kind of died now, and as much as I liked it personally as a producer, as a DJ.
The tunes were blowing like that though, bro, and they were banging for like 2 months.
I kept saying to him, I was like, just wait, because in a couple years, it's that obviously popular music changes, innit? The demographic changes, everyone's like, there's like people aren't gonna be like just jumping on the genre because it's charting. So like now, I feel much more like, not to say tunes are bad, but just like a bit more substance. Like for me anyway, for us.
Well, it kind of leads me on to where I was going to ask you about what you think about what you think about where the scene is at currently.
I think it's in a good place.
I like where it's at.
Okay, what about maybe not the scene? What about the sound of the scene? Because the scene's healthy. There's a lot of parties. There's events.
We're talking in London.
Yeah.
Well, this is obviously, this brings us to another sort of part of the conversation that we touched on earlier on. And like you said, why don't you play at a lot of these kind of parties? Like, it's not even like we turn them down, but we just don't ever get sort of like, not asked to play, but sort of like invited to play. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't like.
But for us, it's like we're talking about the sound. Like that sort of the London kind of sound is very much, I feel, very sort of like dark, tech, deep. It's wicked, it's sick, like there's wicked music coming out all the time. It is a nice vibe, like it's a sick thing. But where, like obviously I mentioned earlier on, Freight Train, we can make a tune that fits that, then the next day we can make something much more soulful, much more. Do you see what I'm saying? Because for us, like our sort of house, it just depends how we feel on the day. Do you see what I'm saying? So we don't really like feel bad on how we're not playing out at these kind of parties, but that's why I'm not really surprised that you wouldn't see us.
You haven't released a whole like collection of sounds that are all like that everyone goes.
Exactly. Like, because
I also think it's because you guys never become associated with any of them. If you look at a lot of the lineups of Audio or it's a collection of DJs.
This is what I'm saying, and like
it's a collection of DJs.
Exactly. And I think we always, no disrespect to any of those promotions or anything, but we're perfectionists and we always aim high. So for us, our sort of motivation is we want to be playing abroad, we want to be at festivals, we want to be, like worldwide. You see what I'm saying? Hence why now, I could say, well, like some of our releases, we're getting releases in California, and like someone in London, they might think, that's California, but they don't know that the house scene in California is mad. Like the Southern American scene, like it's different sounds, it's a different feel, it's a different mood, it's different. So for us, it's like even more exciting that we're getting noticed.
Cool, because you know who's big behind that back in like 2012 with that whole deep house sound was Lee Foss. Lee Foss was playing in LA. I can't remember the name of the club. But he was big behind that. There's a guy, shout out Stephen Paul, who I downloaded one of his tracks on SoundCloud and we started chatting. And he was telling me how he was like the boss, and he did loads for the scene. You know where it's getting like that apparently? Rumours that Vegas is going to start taking on Solomon, Jamie Jones. To get away from the EDM.
But that's the thing about deep house and about house. It's like it's like a more cooler genre. It's a bit more like it's got more character in the sense of EDM. Again, it's like it gets commercialized.
Well, also you just wait for the drop.
Everything is based around the drop. Like there's grooves, but it's not like deep house. The deep house is just a different vibe.
But I also think by the time of deep house, like you have to go back. I mean, recently I did a Beatport order when I played at the Queens. Bro, there was nothing in my cart newer than 2013.
Bro, that was
you're gonna find deep house now. That was an amazing hot creation.
2012, 2013.
Crosstown Rebels. I did a status about it and I was like, wow, you just need to bring like that.
Yeah, those tunes, like, but that's what kept us keeps us motivated, because we still find those kind of tunes and we still go in and like really crate dig and stuff. And that's why, going back to what I was saying about sort of the commercial side of things, that's why I feel more happy now, because I like to play and hear music that isn't commercial, that not everybody knows. That's where I get my excitement. Tunes that make you say, oh, who's that, or what's that, like, do you see what I'm saying? Maybe that doesn't have a vocal all the way through, a hook on it, an outro, an intro, a mid-8, and all the sort of things you associate. Yeah, man, just vibes, just dancing. Like, tune can be 3 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but it's about the journey. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what I feel. I'm more excited that house, the scene, anyways, in London is a bit more like that, because it's just I can draw more inspiration.
Who are you listening to at the moment? Like, you're on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's strange, man. Like, I've been listening. Well, we've got a release coming out on a label called Sorted Music, and the DJ and the label owner that runs it is Miguel Miggs, who's been around for time. Like, he makes cool, very cool, like
funky
beach kind of sounding house, and we've got a couple of the tunes that we played today was forthcoming, and we've had that. This will be our second release on the label, and he's based in San Diego, and sorry, not San Diego, San Francisco, and I've been listening to a lot of his kind of stuff, man, like Detroit Swindle and more jazzy kind of house, like, because I don't know, like, I go through kind of stages, but then today after the mix, I know I'm going to listen to more techie stuff, so it's like, I don't know, at the moment, I go through my stages, man, and I tell you, one person I am listening to a lot of is Scott Diaz. Scott Diaz, man, he's gone mad. He's gone mad, and his tunes, he's just churning out tune after tune, and I'm just loving it, man.
All high quality,
very high quality.
Great sound,
Very, I can tell he's quite particular in his music, and that's kind of, I can kind of appreciate that. So that's who I'm listening to anyway.
Yeah, I'd say the same for me. Just trying to think about who I was playing. I was playing every week, so we've got a residency over in Soho in a venue called Ginger, and that's straight house, funk, soul. What day is that? We're there
on rotation.
Fridays and Saturdays, but we'll let you know.
Yeah, because I'm around here.
It's a vibe, trust me.
Sure.
It's a vibe.
It's nice.
But yeah, for me, like Scott Diaz, like Kwaf was saying, Detroit Swindle as well. Mate, there's so much good music at the moment. Another person that I love is Joey Negro, because he does a lot of the old school disco edits and stuff. Dr. Packer as well, again, disco sort of things there.
I think that's the vibe at the moment. Because of our, like, what we've been producing, I kind of think that you kind of listen to that kind of stuff, and then that influences you to make something. So at the moment, that vibe, where we've been working on the forthcoming EP called Loud Silence. That we ain't got a release date yet. That was exclusively played today.
Exclusively played.
No one else has heard that. So yeah, we played a couple of them tunes on that. But that is the vibe we were going for, and I think it's whatever you, when you get in the studio, it's what you think. Wow, I'm gonna make a tune like this today, and then I don't know. You kind of get swayed to start listening to stuff like that, because then you can get inspiration. So when I'm in the car, like today coming here, I was listening to Spotify Detroit Swindle radio. So then I was getting tunes like Hackman was on there.
Yeah, see, I'm not on Spotify, so I miss out on something.
Bro,
I'm an Apple Music kid.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So basically, on Spotify, you can listen to a tune, and then you can even select the radio of that tune, so then it will find similar tunes.
A bit like Genius. I think it's Genius on Apple.
Yeah. So where would be the dream place to play, bro?
I think for me, Cafe Mambo, be for the sunset set. We had the pleasure of not going there exactly, but we was on a boat outside of it, and the tunes were playing, we were watching the sunset, and everybody just appreciating like just the music, man. It's an eclectic place.
I saw Ammunition dance there. Ammunition dance for when I first got into house, they were like my kind of producers.
Right.
I got to see them at Bad Boys.
Sick,
crazy.
Sick.
Yeah, for me, SW4, I had the pleasure to go and interview a few artists a couple years ago, Dusky, Groove Armada. But yeah, the tent they were in was Pete Tong's tent, and like the crowd was just, it was like a good couple thousand people. Like, it wasn't like mad, but it was just, everyone was just on the beats, on the house. It just felt, and where it's local as well, so it's like, I just like the idea of, literally you can roll out of bed 20-30 minutes down the road, you're in SW4 playing in your backyard kind of thing. Yeah, that would be the dream.
So kind of discussed a little bit about the past, bro. I want to know what's next for Freight Train, what's coming up, what's going to be happening.
Yeah, man. Like, so we took a break to learn our craft, and we stopped. Like, it's not like we stopped like intentionally, but I think we kind of took a backseat where we were making tunes and we wanted to basically learn how to do it ourselves, like engineering the tune, how to learn how to use it properly, how to use a compressor properly, how to get your mix perfectly balanced.
It's important, I think, and we're like I was saying, we're quite sort of on it, and we always are looking to better ourselves, always looking to listening to tunes. How have they made it sound like this? How have they made their drums punch like this? And so that kind of wanting to know led us to kind of study a bit more while still producing, but
not as much.
Yeah, because obviously it's time. So.
And you're learning and you're testing and then you're making something and then you think, don't like that, we'll start again, we'll try a different technique. So we've got to a stage now in our production where we're comfortable with mixing down a tune and literally we can do a rough master now, but we just send it out to get it mastered properly. I think that's the best way to do it because the mastering engineer knows what they're doing. We can just do it for a quick radio play, but nothing beats that proper professional sound. But yeah, man, now it's like all systems go really for us. Like I said, we've got this EP coming out. That's hopefully going to be a big deal, man, because it means a lot to us. Like having our own 3-track EP on a label we've looked up to since. I don't even know when, like, and where it's like overseas as well. You're thinking this is mad. We got a release on King Street Sounds as well, previously to this release. Again,
big label, loads of history there. That was another. When you're looking at the back catalogue, you're seeing Dennis Ferrer. You know, what's my man's name?
Kerry.
That's it. Kerry Chandler.
He's on there.
What, you should have told me the rain and I
would have
been
seen that video of him playing that Kappa?
Yeah, it's sick.
Crazy. So you're looking at the back catalogue and you're seeing, you know, big DJs
and you're like,
producers.
What? Wow. Like you got Freight Train on the EP, and these are their guys' back catalogue, and you're thinking,
they'll be very motivational.
Yeah. So now it's like we've got like.
You believe in yourself a bit more as well. Like, obviously, I know you know how it is. When you're creative, you're making something. Your biggest sort of critic is gonna be yourself, and like it's good in a way because it kind of gives you that fire to fight yourself, to better yourself, but it can also hold you back, and you can also maybe not believe in yourself as much.
Do you know what refreshes that for myself? Being out. When you're out and you're socialising, and people might come up to you and they'll be like, oh, is that you? And because obviously recently with the cameras and stuff, I've been out a lot more and I'm always wearing the 559 clothes or whatever. People like, oh, is that 559? I've seen, what is 559? I've seen it around, whatever. For me, that's super refreshing. Like, because you get like, oh, they know my thing. Like if you guys were out, and you see your song being like popped off,
it's true.
Oh, of course,
it's true.
man.
You're like, yeah, okay, I'm doing something. Like,
it's a big boost.
But, and like, following on from what you're saying, like, King Street got in touch with us following the Sorted release, and we were like, King Street, what? Like when I saw the email come through, I called him and I was like, Puff, this is King. Like this is not a game, man. We was like, what?
It can be quite surreal as
well. This guy was like, yeah, have you got any tunes that we could potentially release? And it's like, man. So now, like,
crazy.
That's a dream, man.
Bro, it was.
That's not you firing out loads of demos to people. That's like, they coming knocking on your door.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's very easy. Like where we live, you know, behind our phones, behind laptops, behind computers. It's very easy to forget that there's other real people behind.
You forget who's actually listening to your music.
Yeah. So like we look at the Traxsource chart and you can be skeptical and say, oh, but people are putting money in and this and that. Yeah. But again, you can forget, well, actually, there might be people that are looking at it like a credible source and saying, I'm going to try and find something new here as well.
Well, it's about hitting all of it, innit? That's what we were saying. You have to be doing everything.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're a DJ and you're out there and you're playing every week, I feel you actually also have to have your Instagram on point. You have to have your content.
It's important.
It's important.
It's not, and it's not easy all the time, but it comes part and parcel of like doing everything else. Like we were saying about you have to be DJing really if you're producing. After that, you need to be on the promotion side. You need to be managing how much, you know, how many pictures you're putting out a week or however you're doing it. It's mad, but it pays off. And you know, and I felt like where we took that break, we learned how to engineer ourselves, kind of open our mind to properly making a proper song. Not just a beat, like going into that kind of right, let's make a proper song and let's make an EP, and then next thing you know, you've got guys from big boy house, very, very well respected labels contacting you, and you're like, man, this is like, we kind of feel like we're going in the right direction. Obviously we sent the new 3-track EP over to Sorted. He said, wondered if you'd like be interested in this again. Yeah, we love the 3 tracks, blah blah blah. We're gonna send you over the contracts and stuff like within the next couple of days, and you're like,
and it was that snappy, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're on it.
Sick.
Sorted a proper man. So shout to Miguel Miggs, man. Like, you are
Lisa, everyone.
Lisa, yeah, nice.
Make the process nice.
It's good, man. It's good. So it's really, really inspiring and encouraging.
Yeah, man. We've been in talk with SKT.
Okay.
He's been like a friend and associate.
I met him on Sunday at Rise.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Very safe. And he was also like, he was sending me some bits over. So a couple of the tunes we played tonight sort of leans more towards.
Yeah.
What's the sub label? I've forgotten his label now. He's got his own label. He's got what's it called now?
But you know when you get them, this is off camera. This is off camera. You know when you get them, when you quick fire names, you're like, oh, what's that called? And then your mind is
I know.
blank.
But it happens on camera.
And you talk about it all the time, and you're like,
I know.
No, I can't remember.
But it's happened to me twice. It's happened to you twice.
Up tempo.
That's it.
Oh, is that
Okay.
okay.
So that's
Start that again.
So yeah, obviously we've been throwing over some bits to SKT. Safe guy.
I met him on Sunday.
Respect. Yeah, he's proper guy, man. And he was like, send us over some bits. So a couple of the tunes we played tonight are more lean towards that. I don't think they're going, or they'll be looking at up tempo. He's got another label that he's been pushing, sort of more. See how Defected's got the FTD. Similar to that.
Yeah. I was gonna say the goal. That's the goal. That's the final boss for me. Like,
you know what? I was chatting to another DJ on Saturday, and he said my goal is Defected.
Of course.
Is it up? That's never been a goal for me. I've got to be honest.
Do you know what it is?
Bro, my goal. It's like when you said when I was playing something earlier. And you said to me like, you should send this. You should send.
By the way, we're gonna interview my man. Like, here's DJ because he's got some tunes coming up.
You have to flip the script.
Like for me, bro, my goal is to walk into rave and just hear my tune going off. I don't care about.
Let me tell you what it is. Yeah, one thing I've learned in the years we've been active is the goalposts always move.
Yeah, of course.
And we've always kind of from day one, I think where we've always just been a fan of where we obviously are DJs and producers, we also run a business. So we look at the business element of certain entities and the way that Defected operate as a business with their branding, with their mailing outs, with promotion, everything about them. Then you then look at the music, which is obviously some of the best, arguably the best label in the world. Some of the biggest hits have come out on there. You kind of feel like it would be an absolute dream to just
be a part of
that.
Have that little something, in 20, 30 years time, you're talking to your kids and you say, you know what, this is something.
This was the greatest house label on the planet, or the biggest house label on the planet.
Yeah.
Because it is, isn't it?
Well, that's it.
Really
that's it. And so that's why for us it's kind of like when we and also you could break it down in so many ways, but so many DJs who we love and respect play their music have all released and Defected. It's kind of like it's that sort of self-validation,
isn't it?
It's that self-validation. It's like once you release on there, obviously you're as good as you feel you are, but it's kind of like that stamp of approval, your music is the level with that, because obviously quality control Defected must be.
And the amount of demos just to get through, to break that barrier, to get Mr. Dunmore himself to listen to that, it's mad.
Well, a guy who I first met through going out to Havana, Melvo, he's at A&R now for Glitterbox.
Oh, okay.
So the recent compilation that come out, he actually mixed it.
Sick, man.
Shout out Melvo.
I do like that whole Glitterbox sound.
But again, thinking of the business acumen, how smart is that?
Yeah,
you've got Defected with your sort of main room, then you've got your DFTD, underground, and now you're hitting a margin that no one was really championing. Obviously people are pushing it, but it's like they've taken it and they've made it their own.
Yeah.
So you kind of know.
And commercially it's successful.
Yeah.
Exactly. iTunes charting.
Yeah. No, you got to look
that's
up to
really, I think, as house DJs and producers. I think for me that's always been a little goal. I mean, there are producers that would say I don't care about that, I just, do you know what I mean? But I think it'd be nice to know that you've had a tune that's hit top 10. Do you know what I mean? Even the Tough Love video, I think it's had 82 million views producers.
They're smashing it.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's some numbers, bro. Crazy numbers.
Crazy.
Like as house producers, like that's up there, innit? Or then getting like Genuine to actually do the vocals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's mad.
Like,
but that's.
But it's all possible, bro.
Yeah, it's
with how stuff gets shared now, you can bang out a tune, yeah, and like this person can hear it, this person can hear it.
So
and
yeah,
then, like you're in the studio with Genuine.
it's mad, and that's the beauty of it, man. So for us, it's like that's not the be all and end all. Getting something on maybe Defected or something huge, or you know, even a release on. I'd love a release on Ministry. You know, I'd love. I know they're quite commercial, but I'd still love a release like maybe a remix or something. But then I think for us, we've also got our heads on the whole label thing, having our own label. We've already got the name and stuff set up, and we've registered the socials and that, but they're not out there yet. But it's there. It's about, you know, it's just about the right time.
You get an effective release, then you're up the label.
That'd be amazing.
We're putting it out there now.
Better get that soon though. Because, but yeah, no, you know, I think for us it's just keep doing what we're doing, just releasing and then
all about the music, man.
Just keep going, man.
So you've got the LA label coming up.
Yeah.
How much stuff have you got that